Namaskar, dear children. Welcome to Rendezvous with Literature by Shobha Arora Chutani. In today's video, we are going to learn about The Third Level by Jack Finney, a very beautiful and mysterious chapter, part of Flamingo Class 12th English Course syllabus by CBSE. Let's get started. Now, what is it that you will be able to learn at the end of this video? By the end of this lesson, you should be able to summarize the story in a gap filling exercise. You should be able to recall the important points of the story through a questionnaire, fill in, reference to the context, and MCQ quiz. You should also be able to write the character sketch of Charlie with the help of the steel characterization technique, and then for the meaning of some important statements in the story writing, a short note on them. You will also be able to debate if Charlie had visited the third level by writing a short note on it. So this is what the third level is all about. What is it that we're going to witness in this chapter? What is it that the third level will be all about? Will it be something concrete or it will be a part of the abstract is what we have to find out. Let's get started. Before we proceed to understanding what the title wants to suggest to us as readers, let us plunge into understanding the backdrop. Now, in the 1950s, people were scared. The threat of the atom bomb was fresh in everyone's mind, and children were required to do duck and cover drills at the school. So, this was the kind of training that was being given to students at that point of time, given the kind of circumstances they were facing. So, Russians had launched the Sputnik, the artificial Earth satellite. The Cold War was inflaming, and the demagogues were saying communists may be hiding in our own government. So, too much of political turmoil, too much of disturbance, too much of hullabaloo that they used to see around, and that got easily reflected in the kind of practices these people were taking up at that point of time. So you can you can very well feel the kind of disturbance that would have been sensed by people of those times. In such an atmosphere, Jack Finney wrote a book about escape. In The Third Level, a collection of short stories, Finney wrote about people who are upset with the world they live in. They seek some idyllic place in the country's recent past. In the story The Third Level, the mysterious level of the Grand Central Station leads to a town in Ohio in 1894. So what is it that you're going to see, and what is it that propelled this kind of a thought in the mind of the author is what we're going to study. So he tells us that the times were such that people really felt disenchanted by the kind of atmosphere they were witnessing, or by the kind of situations that were coming to them, and this made them feel completely out of touch with the surroundings, and that is why they just wanted to run away. So there was this escapist attitude in the mind of every person living out there, and in order to accomplish the dream of living at a place which is beautiful, which is completely idyllic in nature, where everything is haven like, they wanted to resort through some means. And what does that mean? So when Jack Finney writes about such a place, and this place comes out to be the third level at the Grand Central Station, we all feel that we all need to go away from this place, or we need to take a retreat into the realm of imagination and do things which we really want to do, because at times when we are not able to come to terms with the reality, when we feel that it is too hard, too harsh and pressing, and that we need a break, a retreat from what we are facing, this is what we are able to think of. He was a political leader who seeks support by appealing to the desires and prejudices of ordinary people rather than by using rational argument. Extremely happy, peaceful, or picturesque is the background of this particular chapter. Now, additional information that I want to supply you with is that it is a science fiction. Obviously, you have to think too deeply and intricately and analytically to be able to feel that this chapter is talking about things which are going beyond the realm of human understanding. So, it's a genre of speculative fiction that typically deals with imaginative and futuristic concepts such as advanced science and technology, space exploration, time travel, parallel universes, and extraterrestrial life. It has been called the literature of ideas and often explores the potential consequences of scientific, social, and technological innovations. Another example that I'm able to think of science fiction is Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. Just read that particular novel and you'll get the feel. And Dr. Faustus is another beautiful novel that you will be able to lay your hands on very easily if you take up a literature course in English, and this is also going to make you feel the same that you're going to see in this particular chapter. Now, the concept of time travel, moving backwards and forwards to different points in time in a manner analogous to moving through space. So this is very much, it's vividly shown in movies like Harry Potter. They've been taken back in time and they wanted to correct a few actions or anything of the sort. So this all comes into this category of time travel, and it suggests the possibility of travel between parallel realities or universes. Moving on to the important points that you need to remember. Now, when we read this particular chapter, the third level, you've seen that the narrator starts off by saying that the presidents of these places that I'm talking about are going to swear by a stack of timetables that there are only two. This is how it starts, and from the first line itself, the narrator is trying to draw the attention of the reader towards the point of understanding that whatever he has witnessed or whatever he has been a witness to is not untrue. It is something that he has seen with his naked eyes. He has witnessed it, he has felt it, and that people around him need to understand it, because realities for different people are different. And he says that I have not been hallucinating. It's not that I'm so hard pressed or I am following a cumbersome and monotonous routine that I cannot understand that these things are happening to me. And why just me? I have proof of it. So it's not because of the problems and situations that I'm facing that I'm able to see the third level at the Grand Central Station. It is something that actually exists. And this is what takes us to what I discussed in the beginning of the presentation. I told you that people were so difficult, they were going through such difficult times that they just wanted an escape out of it. They just wanted to time travel. They just wanted to take a retreat into the realm of imagination, which is away from the harsh realities of this real world, something that could make them feel comforted, at least temporarily. So this reflection, this thought process, this ideology is getting reflected in what Charlie wants us to believe. A lot of if we talk about the time and space intersection in this chapter, a lot of instances that tell us about the intersection. First intersection being the one between the first two levels of the Grand Central Station and its third level, which is based somewhere in the 1890s, whereas the former exists in the present times. Also, when Charlie went to buy tickets for Galesburg, which existed in 1894, while he and his wife exists in the present time. Not to ignore the old-fashioned architecture of the third level and the contradiction to the modern interiors of the first two levels. Lastly, the letter dated 18 July 1982 that Charlie found also throws light upon the intersection of time and space, as both the sender, that is Sam, and the receiver, that is Charlie, exist in the present time. So this is how we see the intersection happening. Now, while a lot of the world's greatest inventions were made by people who were criticized for their ideas, audiences used to mock at them for being illogical, citing the example of Thomas Edison, who invented the light bulb. No one believed in him at first, but all he had was an idea and its realistic projection in mind. The idea here tells us how important it is to somehow follow one's inside and have hope for it, holds the capacity to change the world through its futuristic projection. So it's not like if Charlie has been able to, see the third level, it's not that it does not exist in reality. If you are not able to project, if you're not able to see the reality through his eyes, it's your fault. So the other side of the picture is sometimes what we feel is illogical, what we feel is completely out of place, is something like a futuristic approach for the other person. Now, what is a first day cover is also something that we've talked about in the chapter. When a new stamp is issued, the stamp collectors buy that stamp and they use them to the self-addressed envelopes on the very first day of the sale. The new stamp gets the postmark and the date. This is called the first day cover. These envelopes are never opened because the receivers know that there is a blank page inside put by them. Obviously, why will they open it? If they are mailing it to themselves, if they're sending it to themselves just to keep it as a track of the first day cover, then why would they want to open it? Because they know what it is going to contain, right? So this is obviously better known to people who have been following this passion of collecting, first day covers, envelopes, and stamps. Now let's understand the chapter. If you've already done the reading of the chapter, you would know that it actually this entire concept of the third level and this entire question keeps hovering us throughout the chapter. What is this idea that is being propelled every now and then, and this idea which is still this question which keeps on intriguing the readers as well, whether this third level is actually something that exists in reality, or is it a medium of escape for Charlie? Let's figure out. So the third level was actually the creation of his own mind, whim and fantasy. The third level was a medium of escape for Charlie from the present harsh realities of modern life, which was full of insecurity, fear, war, worry, and tension. And if you will read the chapter carefully, this is something that is told to us through Sam the psychiatrist as well. He understands that there is so much of pressure on people these days. He understands that people are full of insecurity, and it being a postmodern world, things are actually very cumbersome and monotonous for people. Then what is it that they can do to find a retreat out of it? This is what they can do. They can think of something imaginative, something idyllic, something where everything is hunky-dory, a utopian world, and this is how they can come out of it. Are reading books on everyday basis. Why do we not like to do things that are supposed to be done on regular basis? Because there is no color, there is no you can say vibrance to it. Everything seems very dull and boring, but we like to read novels, and whenever we whenever we read novels or whenever we watch a movie, we just get lost, and for some time it's like a temporary retreat that you're taking into the realm of imagination. And this is what Charlie also seems to be doing in the chapter. Now, Charlie was undoubtedly afraid of the modern world and its complexities. He tried to avoid people, situations, circumstances as much as possible. His intense desire to go back to past and live there showed that how insecure and withdrawn he was. Every now and then there are instances in the chapter wherein he talks about his need of going back to the times when his grandfather used to exist, when his grandfather used to enjoy, and what a hunky-dory place it used to be, what a beautiful and relaxed environment he used to live in, and how people were closely linked to each other. There was nothing like the vices of the modern age, which are eating away the foundations of the society like a cancer. So he feels drawn to that kind of an environment, and it is very much relatable. Do we not feel like that? Do we not want to escape the world because we find people being too selfish, or we find people being too materialistic, and everything turning so bitter and sour at times that we just don't like it? We have created a distaste for them. We do feel it. And if Charlie is reflecting, or if he is becoming a mouthpiece for all of us who feel the same sort of thing in this postmodern era, where is he wrong? Do you think he's going wrong? I personally do not think so. Now, it was a safe route for Charlie to go to Galesburg in order to escape from trouble. So he tried to purchase 2 tickets for Galesburg, Illinois, from the third level at the Grand Central. Besides, the remarks made by his psychiatrist and friends clearly indicated his defiant approach towards life and ways to escape from this world. It's not that it's not that he's not trying to defend himself. He does not want to prove himself as a person who is an escapist. So there is this, running away from the self also. There is no self-acceptance. Had there been acceptance, he would have definitely admitted the fact that definitely this is the place I want to go to, and I don't like being here. I just want a visible retreat. He termed it as a waking dream wish fulfillment. He claimed to have seen the third level, which never existed as per the records and statements made by the higher officials of the Grand Central Station. The way he described the scene of the third level and made efforts to visit that again and again points at the escapism from reality. Not to forget that he was never able to find the third level. It is because the third level had existed in his fantasy only. Hence, it can be well ascertained that the third level was a medium of escape for Charlie. It was only his escapist fantasy. Now children, you can take up this exercise which is going to be very, very productive for you. You can read the chapter carefully, you can go to the analysis part of the chapter which has been shared in the previous slides, and you can understand how you can easily go through writing about these points. You can build on the points that you have learnt in the chapter. So Charlie, he enters the corridor of the second level. What happens next? What does he discover? What does he do? He gets 2 tickets for Galesburg, or he at least tries to get those 2 tickets. And then when he shares this experience with friends, what is their reaction? What is it that they tell him? And then Sam disappears all of a sudden. So everything is going to come down to you categorically if you attempt this exercise. Here are a few sample questions that I have prepared for you. What does the third level refer to? What are the different means of temporary escape from reality? What do you think that the third level was a medium of escape for Charlie? And if you think so, why? What do you infer from Sam's letter to Charlie? What did the author think about Grand Central Station? Why did the author talk to a psychiatrist friend about his visit to the third level, author cum narrator? Where did Charlie and his wife Louisa want to go? They wanted to go to whichever place, you have to mention that here. How did they visualize Galesburg town? Why did the clerk at the ticket counter refuse to accept the currency Charlie offered? Could Charlie find the third level again? You can pause the video and you can take a screenshot of these questions, which can be very helpful for understanding the chapter intricately. Thank you so much once again. I hope this video made sense to you and it was able to clear up every doubt that you may have after reading the third level. Like, subscribe and share my video if you're liking the job that I'm doing. Bye-bye.